Every great drama has its subplots. Game 5 of the NBA Finals was no exception. The Jazz finally got a marquee performance from their star, Karl Malone. The mailman stole the show with 39 points. Meanwhile, Chicago's leading man, Michael Jordan, was having trouble hitting his marks. Even with Malone's big night, the director of Utah's cast, Jerry Sloan, made a script revision at intermission. He called on a seldom-used veteran from Wichita State, a stand-in, Antoine Carr. Carr had 5 field goal attempts in the second half. He made them all. Without his performance in a supporting role, the NBA Finals would be history. Instead, the Jazz are back in Utah, back on their home stage, after refusing to let the curtain come down in Chicago. Game 6, next.
This is the NBA on NBC. The 1998 NBA Finals. Tonight, it's Game 6. The Chicago Bulls versus the Utah Jazz.
A while ago at the Delta Center, the cast of characters began arriving for Game 6. Karl Malone, fresh off the great 39-point performance on Friday night. Michael Jordan held just 9 of 26 from the floor in Game 5. Antoine Carr, unexpected hero, helping to bring it back to Salt Lake, where John Stockton has family support. Dennis Rodman doesn't prefer Utah, at least it's close to Vegas. Brian Russell, good job defensively on Michael in Game 5. Scottie Pippen, whose MVP chances for the final may have been hurt by his 2 of 16 shooting on Friday night. And we welcome you back to Salt Lake City for Game 6. Hello again, everybody. I'm Bob Costas. As we mentioned earlier, no team has ever come back from a 3-1 deficit to win the NBA Finals. That's what the Jazz are facing. But for the sake of context, 6 teams have recovered after being down 3-1 to win earlier rounds in the NBA playoffs, including 3 teams that eventually won the championship. And should the Jazz win tonight and force a Game 7, then it would be worth noting that very few teams have ever won a 7th game on the road in the finals. That's what Chicago would be facing. If anything, Utah would have a slight edge, it would seem, in that scenario. Now, if Chicago wants to take some encouragement from recent history, they know that Game 6 has been very, very good to them. Of their 5 championships, only one, the first one, a 5-game victory over the Lakers, was not clinched in the 6th game. There was the comeback from 15 points down in the 4th quarter against Portland in '92. John Paxson's shot at Phoenix a year later. The Sonics were finished off in Game 6 2 years ago in Chicago, and then it was Steve Kerr's shot that finally put Utah away last spring.